I read on the old Kiwi farms, and you can confirm if this is true or not, that Geno and Keanu have turned on April again. They said that she's in a cult and they're back to the cult leader culty thing. Oh boy. It's I mean, they're like X-Pac during the Monday Night Wars. They're WWE, WCW, back to WWE, WCW, WWE. Can't keep track. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I think all of their moves are pretty disingenuous. I think all of their moves are built on a bed of lies. Personally, I think it's a grift. Well, I know it's a grift. I think they're going where the money is. I think it's one of those cases of going too far at first and then trying to overcorrect. Like, at least they didn't do the most retarded thing, which was try to quote unquote like me again. First of all, I would have told them to go themselves. And second of all, it would have been disingenuous to say the least. But they went like full on. They wanted to be on Nick's payroll, like her and Chris, like Keanu and Chrissie. I think Chrissy's still just sucking the dick, figuratively speaking. I mean, I heard her say some shit, because you got to remember, I don't watch this stuff. So if I stumble upon a clip, I might be a few days late. I saw on Sunday, she said, like, she's like, Nick is a sociopathic, narcissistic liar. Like, everything that comes out of his mouth, lips are moving, lie. She bought the line that Nick's kid tested positive for cocaine because the cops had cocaine on their gloves and touched their hair. And, like, people tried to explain to her, like, bitch, it doesn't that way. It's a follicle test. They clean the hair, wipe everything external off of it, and it tests for the metabolites that process coke. And then whenever she gets confronted that, you know, this guy's a piece of shit, she goes, oh, well, I just don't know these things. I just don't know. Like, my mom's the same way. If you catch her in a tough spot and you're like, hey, this person's a piece of shit, and she doesn't want to believe they're a piece of shit, and then she comes up with some kind of deflection, and then you go, Mom, it's actually this. She'll be like, oh, well, I don't know. I just don't want anyone to be upset. It's remarkably retarded, is what I'm trying to say. But I guess the Biscontis now think it's they now think that it's what do you call it, a cult again, and that they don't trust anybody, and they stopped responding and all this other shit. Oh my God, I just can't I can't keep up. I will say this, when it comes to the internet in general, for the most part, just try, and I learned this the hard way, but try to stay out of it and stay away from it for a while, because all the retards will fall apart on their own. Like Geno and Keanu, just completely bottling this whole thing. Just leave them alone. Let them go. They'll fuck it up on their own. Nick, same way. I guess I was reading the farms, and last night somebody mentioned that during his stream, he says, people are mad at me for what I did. Not what I'm accused of. He says, for what I did. And that's a big slip. Just leave these people alone. Don't do a tete-a-tete thing with them. Don't do a ping pong back and forth. Don't hit the ball back. Just let them start with the ball. They'll flip the serve. Leave them go. Bigot on Socialist Media says Keanu had 37 viewers on her stream last night when I looked. Yeah, that late night that nightlife show, I guess that doesn't do very well. I mean, they just sit there and look at girls in dresses and go, isn't that dress weird? It's like, okay. Doesn't that girl look funny? I bet you she's a hoe. Seems a little lacking in the content department. But then again, I host Steel Toe. I can tell I was still seeing Kayla when this was made, because Kayla had me grow out the facial hair thing.